Hey, Travis, really good to see you and talk to you. Let's start with how you're feeling and what the last few weeks have been like for you personally.
Yeah, feeling better, stronger every day. Um, I came in the last few days just to be around the coaches and see some of the players and watched practice yesterday. Went on the ice today and ran practice. It was good to be back. And the last few weeks have been trying for sure.
When you look ahead to what your group is going to try and accomplish here, how do you set expectations for something like this that is pretty unprecedented in terms of not only what your players have gone through, but what your staff has gone through, and now the number of games you're going to have to play to finish the year in a short span?
There's been a lot of talk about that, and understandably so. I know, these are these kind of situations. You can't script it. You've just got to go through it. I think it's been real important that we've had the extra days of practice for our team. Not only, obviously, they've gone through a lot in the last few weeks, but I think they've needed it physically, obviously, but maybe more importantly, mentally, just to get through a few more days and feel good about themselves and get through a practice where you're not, struggling to get through a practice. I think that's been vital for our group. As far as expectations, I know there's a lot of people out there that there's been lots of talk, how can you expect to do this or that? Hey, we're here to win tomorrow. And that's our mindset. That's how our group feels. And I wouldn't want it any other way.
Next is Ian McIntyre.
Good to see you, Travis. You can't be a coach without also caring about your players beyond what they do on the ice. How concerned were you for some of them and the family situations that a lot were going through during this time?
Yeah, it's it was hard not to. You're human. The human side of this is the most important part of it, and you worry about your players, you worry about their families, you worry about not just the people they live with, but their families back home. Even from personal experience going through this, you got a lot of people that are not around you that are worried about you, and that's not easy even on the individuals as well, because they know that. And but as a coach, I was obviously worried about our players, and I'm glad that they're on their way back.
Brandon Sutter told us it was good to hear you yelling at them again today. So does that mean your lung capacity is still okay, volume-wise? You've got your outdoor voice indoors again?
Yeah, I had a couple of weeks pent it up, so the joke was that Hoglander had to be good today, so I didn't have to yell too much. So it was nice to be out there. But
okay, next up we'll go to Farhan Lalji.
Travis, again, like everyone else says, good to see you back. And just to follow up what Ian said, you still sound a bit under the weather. I mean, can you coach the way you normally coach? Is that level of energy there? Is that level of volume there for, when the puck drops tomorrow night?
Yeah, I think so. Like I said, my voice has come a long way in the last few days. It's getting stronger every day. I'm a little raspy now after running a practice, but I think I'll be fine to go.
How important was it to you to be there tomorrow night for the first game when they step back on? Because if you needed it, I'm sure the club would have given you more time.
That was important for me personally. There's been a lot of people that have gone through a lot and are coming back to play, and I wanted to make sure that I was there. If I didn't feel like I could do it, though, I wouldn't do it. There was time just probably a couple of days ago where I really didn't believe I would be. So I'm thankful that I've been able to come and be at the rink the last few days and get on the ice today, and be good to coach tomorrow.
Next up is Patrick Johnston.
Good to see you, Travis, and good to hear you. Just how sort of touch and go are lineup decisions at this point? Do you have a sense of, who's going to play tomorrow, or is that going to be about progress going into?
We're set for our lineup tomorrow. We've got a few regulars that are still out. We won't see Demko, Mott, or Ulevi in the lineup tomorrow. But other than that, we're good. We'll have we had eight D in practice today. We had 13 forwards. Obviously, Smitty and Jake are still out too, but those three players will not play tomorrow, and hopefully they'll be ready to play on Tuesday. And then we've got the new guys also coming back.
Thanks for the details there. That's appreciated. Just in terms of having to sort of reorganize your group based on those kind of parameters. I know the guys are all game, they all want to play, but does it feel like training camp, or does it feel like you're just resetting the regular season?
We've been off for a while. I don't know the day count as far as the last game we've played, but it's again, it's different. We're in uncharted waters. I think the last few practices have been really important. We've tried to work on different parts of our game over the last few days and ramp it up a little bit more on the physical side and the puck battles and getting body contact. That's important. And but again, when you miss games and you don't play for a while, you can't mimic that part of it, and we're just going to have to dive in.
Okay, we'll go to Thomas Drance. Drance, are we happy there?
Message you've got for the community, just in terms of what this can do, how unpleasant it is to go through, what sort of symptoms you dealt with?
I missed the beginning part there, Drancer.
Just asked if you had a message for those in the community. Is there anything that can be learned from your experience over the past 2 weeks and the symptoms that you've dealt with?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good question. I think I'd like to first thank a lot of people, the medical staff of our team that have been working relentlessly for the last few weeks. John Sanderson and Jim Bovard have done a lot of work. For me personally, I'd like to thank Dr. John Yee and Dr. Chris Carlson that helped me a lot to get through this as well. And there's been a lot of people that had a lot of support for our group. I just want to take a chance or a moment to thank them. As far as the virus itself, I don't want to dive into it too deeply into my situation personally, but if I could tell the people of BC, continue to do the right things. Listen to the health authorities. I know we're getting into this pretty long now, and it's not time to loosen things up yet and not do the right things. We're not quite through this yet, and you don't want to get this. I can say that personally. It's it wasn't easy at times, and it's not a joke. So again, if just by me helping a little bit by saying to continue to do the right things and don't let your guard down, even though it's hard. I urge people to do that because you don't want to get it and you don't want other people to get it. You don't want loved ones to get it. And we've got to stay the course here.
Travis, are you able to share anything about the concern you've had for some of your players, the anxiety, just the mental side of going through this over the past 2 weeks and what that's been like for you?
Yeah, I mean, personally, it was, there was a point where I think I was worried about our players a lot. And then I was pretty sick and worried just to get through each day. And I mean, selfishly, maybe my focus turned to myself a little bit and getting a little bit worried. But I think when you play on a team, everyone's worried about everyone. Now that I'm back, I'm trying to check in with our players even if it's just how you feeling. And then we've got a few guys that are still out that you really feel for, because I have a bit of an idea of how they're feeling, even though it is different for everyone and it affects everyone a little bit different from what we've seen. When you coach a team and you care about your players so much, you want to, it's almost like your kids, you want to make them feel better. And, you can't.
Okay, we'll go to Gemma Karsten-Smith.
Hi, Travis.
Hi.
How does everything that you guys have gone through this season, all the restrictions and all of the protocols and all this, and then going through this terrible outbreak, how does that change the way you view the last stretch of the season here?
You know what, Gemma, at the end of the day, I know it's a nice storyline but I'm going to stand by what I said. We're here to win. And this is the NHL. It's a competitive league, and rightfully so. It's a great league. And this is not, let's go play 19 games and get them over with. That's not our mindset. We're here strictly to win tomorrow night and get ready to play the next game after that. And I wouldn't, again, I said it earlier, that's the only way to approach it. It's the only way to approach it at this level. And I don't expect anything less out of our players.
Obviously a tough test tomorrow night with the top team in the division. Does it help to have kind of the biggest, the toughest competitor on paper first?
Yeah, I feel like I've repeated myself a lot up here sometimes over the years, but I worry about the things we can control, not the things we don't. And no doubt Toronto's a great team. We're going to have to play well to win, and we'll be up to the task.
Okay, we'll take two more here. We'll go first to Jeff Patterson.
Hey, Travis.
Hey, Jeff.
What was your approach to practice today? Like, what did you need to see from your players? Did you test them? We know that first day of training camp, you love to skate your guys. This obviously isn't training camp, but what was sort of the approach to this practice, and what did you need to see to make sure that everybody was up to speed?
Well, we wanted to see some execution first and foremost, and not just on the easy little passes that you do at the beginning of the drill, but when we're in team drills, 5-on-5 play, when you're making a play, make the play. We talked about that. We wanted to see some of our structure today to get dialed in, certain parts of our game. And you can't mimic a game, but we wanted to make sure our guys were really focused today, and I thought they did a great job.
And I know last year during the very first COVID break, you threw yourself into, you knew at one point that you'd play Minnesota and you could start to prepare. Here, you didn't know when you were going to play, who'd be available to you, all that kind of stuff. I just wonder, because I know how much you throw yourself into the job, the downtime that you had, was there any hockey thought, or was all your whatever energy you had just in trying to recover yourself?
Yeah, there wasn't a lot of hockey going on in my mind for a couple of weeks there, Jeff. I'd say the switch flipped probably 2 days ago when I felt like I was back on my feet, and our coaches here have done a great job getting the prep work done for the Toronto game. So I would say that's kind of where my mind, you're always thinking it, you're always wondering, and but I probably definitely wasn't really going until a couple of days ago.
Okay, and with our final question, we'll go to Jay Janauer.
Travis, I think I speak for all of us when I say it's nice to see you on the road to recovery. Glad to see that you're feeling a lot better.
Thanks, Jay.
I know that you don't want to get into the full-on personal side, but listening to you, Travis, it seems very concerning. How concerned were you, Travis, for your overall health? Were you scared at any time with what you had went through?
Yeah, I was. I think I was a lot like a lot of the players, where I felt pretty good, or shouldn't say good, but I had flu-like symptoms. I wasn't feeling great for 4 or 5 days. I thought I was coming out of it, and then it got a lot worse. probably for another 5-6 days. And at that point, I was a little worried. It's the physical part is hard, but also the mental part is hard when you're going through this as well. And again, I'm thankful that I've had some people that help me, and also a lot of support from a lot of people in the hockey world, which is amazingly small. And the people that have reached out to me, I really appreciated it.
Travis, I apologize if you may have answered this next question because I was on the air, but I know we've always spoken about how valuable practice is to your group, especially with such a condensed schedule. How much of a finer line is this balance now to practice, but also give your guys rest because of what you guys have gone through? I think the landscape now has totally changed because so many guys have been affected. I'm just curious how you're going to go about that and walk that line. Yeah,
we're going to have to walk it and put a lot of thought into our practice time and schedule. There won't be a lot of time for practice. I'm guessing we'll be lucky to get a practice a week. But that's, that happens at times in the schedule. We've gone through it before. I think we're better prepared for it now. But it is what it is. We can't just find practice days. We're going to have to give our guys rest, and we're going to have to monitor our guys. And the one thing about hockey players is they want to play. It's easy for everyone to say, just sit guys out, and it's going to be really monitoring them, talking to them, seeing how they feel, and being honest with them. And those are things that we've tried to do no matter what situation we're dealing with. And, we're going to have to take it game by game.